look around, you never know what's in store. Explore, explore, explore. Explore, explore, explore.
Hey, fellow explorers! Today we're in Murphy's, California, and we're at the Murphy's Fire Protection District. And we're going to go over and explain all the different things that this fire department does to protect the citizens here. It's a rural area. They have a lot of forestry here, a lot of vegetation, and it's a little bit different than a fire department in a city. So let's go over that today. So here we are, we're back, and this is fire engine number 242 at the Murphy's Fire District. And this is engineer Chris Mullin. Now he's going to walk around and he's going to introduce us to all the different parts of the fire truck and all of the various different safety equipment that they use. And he's going to make sure that we understand everything that works, how it works, and it's going to be very informative. And Chris, go ahead. What's the first thing that we need to know? Like if I was a fireman and I was going to go hop on the truck and go put out a fire, what's the first thing I would need to know about the truck?
Well, this is tailored kind of to do as much as we can with one engine. It's our first out, so it's good for doing wildland fires. We can use it for structure fires if you have to, although we would prefer to use our Type 1 over there.
Okay, so you have a larger truck over there from the photo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just it has a little bit more capability for structure fires, but this is our all-around do everything engine, so that's why it's our first out. We can handle most things with this engine. So it has a lot of capability.
Sure.
It's 4x4, so it can go off-road.
Now, is this a fairly new engine, or it looks very nice and shiny, super shiny. I tell you that. You keep it really clean.
Oh yeah, we try and keep everything clean. There's actually only 7,000 miles approximately on this engine, so we purchased it pretty recently. Yeah, it's a really good engine.
And so, if someone had I know in this area here, there's a lot of trees, a lot of nature. So, if there was something like a forest fire, this is the truck you take out first, right? This kind of thing, or
yeah. This will go first out to just about everything.
To everything,
except
okay.
For a structure fire, if we're here, then we'll jump over to the one that's dedicated for structure.
Okay. Okay. So let's walk around, take a little bit.
There's multiple lines coming off the front. So this is a bumper line. It's a short line. So we do what's called mobile attack. If we're in a vegetation fire where we can actually maneuver the engine close to the fire line.
Okay.
We can have a firefighter in front of the engine just actively putting the fire out while we follow him with the engine.
Oh, wow.
So it has the advantage of just being really fast, really direct, and you can put the fire out rather quickly that way.
Okay, that's great.
We have other lines up here. We can also, if we come up on a vehicle fire.
I know this one has a different type of nozzle on it. So what's the difference between the two different types of nozzles?
So this is a combination nozzle.
Okay.
You have adjustable flow in gallons per minute.
Okay.
But you can also adjust the pattern. So it'll do a fog pattern, which is a very wide pattern. And then it'll do a straight stream, which is, as it sounds, a straight stream. So it just depends on what you're trying to do.
It's almost like a big version of a garden hose, kind of like that.
Pretty much, yeah. So a straight stream is for getting distance or attacking fire. And then as you get to the fog where it spreads out, it's more of defense.
Okay.
Protects you from heat.
Sure. Wow. So you have 3 different hoses up in the front then.
Yeah, this one isn't a pre-connected hose. The 2 outside ones are. This one we can take out and connect to either side for a vegetation fire or something requiring a combination nozzle.
Sure.
This is just a longer smoothbore nozzle. Smoothbore is more used for the wildland fires.
Okay.
But that's just a longer one.
Nice. And then I know, so over here, this is where you'd hook up the different hoses and things on this side, or on the other side?
These are the ones that are already connected are called pre-connected lines.
Okay.
So this would be more for a vehicle fire or a structure fire.
Okay.
You can just pull the line off, and as soon as it's out, charge the line, and it's ready to go. Versus having to actually, pull a hose from somewhere and hook it up. It's just
quicker. It's just a lot quicker.
So this is a newer engine with electronic controls, which is very convenient. So you can just set the pressure.
So you control how fast the water comes out through this then, right?
Yeah, you can control the pressure, which directly corresponds to how much water you're flowing. But the nice thing with this, set the pressure, and then no matter what's going on, like if one opens or one closes, it's automatically going to adjust to keep that pressure the same.
Wow.
Whereas on an older style engine, that's all done manually. You have to watch the gauges and manually adjust for lines opening or closing, pressures changing.
This compensates for all that stuff automatically.
Yeah, so I'll set it to 100 PSI. And then I'll simulate a line getting opened. See how it gets louder? It's providing...
It stays at 100 though, right?
Right, yeah. And then same thing if I close it, simulating someone, say, shutting their line off. It automatically adjusts and keeps it at 100. So it's very convenient.
Oh yeah.
Makes it easier to operate. This pump I'm using now, you know, we would use to, say for a vehicle fire, structure fire, it's the main pump of the engine, but there's also an auxiliary pump, which I'll turn that on after I turn this one off.
Okay.
So the auxiliary pump can pump even when the engine's moving. So the advantage of that is like when we're doing that mobile
When
attack.
you're walking in front?
Mhm.
Okay.
It allows us to do things like that. We can use the hose reel while the engine's moving. So
Now that one more limited in terms of pressure than the other one, or is it all just pretty much the same?
no, this one will still provide high pressure, just not as much volume.
Okay. So inside of this, so I noticed that obviously when you were doing before, it got louder and louder and louder. So there's like an internal like engine or something, or just motor in there that cranks it up. Is that how that works? Or?
For this one here is driven with hydraulic. The main pump is driven off the drive line of the engine. That's why you can pump the auxiliary pump when the engine's moving, but not the main pump, because that's connected through the transmission of the engine.
It has to be parked in for that.
Yeah. So this has our extrication equipment. So it's basically large power tools that help us open up vehicles that have been in collisions.
Okay.
When you have people trapped inside. So we have very large cutters, spreaders, and there's also a ram in the back. So between these three tools, you can cut a car up or spread a car, just basically do anything you want to a car to get someone out.
Now, how powerful are these? I imagine they're very powerful. Right?
Oh yeah, these are electric, hydraulic. So like on that engine there, it's a hydraulic. So you have a pump and lines. These are just self-contained. It's all one piece. The only downside is they're a little heavy, but the nice thing is not having any cables to interfere with.
Wow, look at that.
So yeah, you can
cut right through a car door then.
Oh
with that
yeah,
kind of thing,
yep. It'll cut through a lot of things. And same with the spreaders. You can pop a door off with the spreader.
Just pulls it right apart.
Yep. There's a ram in there which allows you to just spread metal as well over a longer distance. If a dash, say, is pushed into the vehicle, you can use the ram to push that dash off of the patient to get someone unstuck. Yeah.
It's kind of like a hydraulic type of thing. Is that what
Yeah.
it is? Okay.
Yep. Very powerful. Down here we actually have our chainsaw. So
now would that be for cutting down vegetation or for like cutting open like an accident? What would you be using that for?
Chainsaw cutting vegetation.
Vegetation,
so
okay.
Vegetation fires. You know, you can clear brush with it, take trees down with it. It's quite versatile.
Okay.
We just have a short supply line here, so if you pull up next to a hydrant, we can just connect to our inlet and fill the engine from this side. You can also do it from the other side. Drip torches, these are pretty cool.
Now, what would you be using a drip torch for?
So on a wildland fire, sometimes there's areas that you actually want to burn before the fire gets there, and you can use it, as a defensive tactic to, meet up with the fire so the fire doesn't burn.
Doesn't burn
so
past
what
it.
you're trying to
Out of
prevent
control. You
being
can kind of
burned.
control it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a mixture of gasoline and diesel.
Now, so does it kind of literally drips then, or what's it called?
Yeah. So there's a insert in here. So you flip this around and put it on the top of this canister.
Oh, so then it kind of sticks out and it kind of drips down like that, and
so it'll constantly just drip.
And then you can
little
kind
bit
of
fuel.
pick the spots you want that way, right? Okay, nice.
Yep. Obviously, on a wildland fire, you're outside. You're going to be doing a lot of hiking. It's going to be hot. Well, it's going to be hot in both situations, but movement is going to be your priority on a wildland fire. So it's kind of lightweight, easy to move, can get breathable clothing.
We got our helmet right here, our shrouds. This protects our side of our head, our back, and our ears and everything. Goes all the way to the front as well. Got our flashlight and our goggles that we need as well. And here's our Wildland backpack basically. Comes with all our essentials that we need out on a fire. We got waters all over the place, our gloves. And we also have a few other stuff in the pockets here. Our hose clamps, if we need to clamp onto some hose. Got some good little tools in here. And we also got extra hose in our pockets and nozzles. Got all this. And we got waters all around, snacks and everything. And our fire shelter back here, if anything does happen and we need to take cover, rip it out, get down on the ground, and try to get as safe as possible. That's basically our wildland setup.
So you'll notice a big difference between what he's wearing and what they're wearing. They're set up for insulation from heat because it's going to be really hot. You can't be in there for very long if it gets too hot. It's just kind of enough protection to get you out of the structure if something does happen, if it gets really hot in there.
Hopefully nothing bad happens, but in case, just in case, right?
It always can. Alright, I'll put the whole BA on.
So Greg's going to show, it's called an SCBA. It means self-contained breathing apparatus.
Okay.
It's how you go inside of a burning structure and, still have fresh air.
Sure. Now how much time's worth of air would be inside there?
So it varies depending on how much energy you're exerting, how hard you're breathing. Some people can get 30, 40 minutes out of them. Some people, they can burn through them in 5 to 10.
Oh, really?
So
Wow.
It just varies.
And then, and I know, I'm sure when that happens, you guys are able to communicate with each other, right? Something starts happening, you can say, I'm falling,
So,
whatever. Or you can...
On the side of the masks, it has a, not a repeater, what's it called? A microphone, and it kind of amplifies your voice because it's hard to hear people when they have the SCBA on.
Okay.
Newer SCBAs from different manufacturers actually have a built-in radio system in them.
Okay.
But for the most part, it's just putting your radio up to the microphone or to the speaker on the the mask and talking. So it can be hard to hear, but
Sure.
usually it works.
And those have like built-in filters or something inside the mask? Or?
No, because the bottle provides all of your air, so it doesn't do any filtering.
So it just keeps the air out, basically.
Yeah, seals
It keeps the smoke out, yeah.
Yeah, seals you off from
Okay.
the outside environment.
Okay. And that's like fire retardant, that thing you pull over your head there?
Yeah, it provides a little bit of insulation for your exposed parts outside the mask, like your cheek, your ears, things that wouldn't be covered by the mask.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Now, how much would something like this weigh, like if you're walking around it?
SCBA is,
About 30 pounds.
yeah,
About 30 pounds?
35 pounds, depending on the manufacturer. So you definitely feel it, but you get used to it.
Yeah. Makes you have to work out all the time, right? You gotta stay in shape.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly.
So it also has what's called a pass system. So this will let him know how much pressure he has in his bottle.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's also an alarm system. If a firefighter stops moving for a certain amount of time, it'll start an audible alert to let other people know there's a downed firefighter. And there's also things for buddy breathing, and if a firefighter has a problem with his SCBA, there's different ways to hook other SCBAs up to his to get them out.
That's awesome.
Yep, and it's got a big alarm button right here.
So you can press it at any time, right?
Yep, in case I'm still conscious and I'm stuck or I need help or something, I can hit that button. And I'll hear it. Here, I'll take a step back.
Yeah. Wow. And that just keeps going until somebody turns it off then, right?
Yep, until I turn it off or somebody else turns it off.
Great. That's awesome. That's well, I mean, it's a necessity, right? If you go down and get unconscious, you need something like that to save your life. So. Now, how many folks, normally if you go inside a building, like, how many people would go in? You wouldn't go in one at a time, right? You go in at least as a team or something? How many folks would enter at one point?
So usually, if we have the staffing, we'll go in 4 people.
4 people?
So
Okay.
2 will be at the engine.
2 at the
and
engine?
2 will be inside.
And 2 inside,
Just
okay.
in case each person that's inside has somebody outside to get them out.
That makes sense. So in case you couldn't hear in the mass, he said that they have 2 inside and 2 in the engine. When they have the same number as the engine, in case that way they have an equal number of folks that can pull people out in case they all pass out, whatever. They have an equal number to pull them out. And I see now you have like a light on yours. Like what's your light for? That's
just a light so I can see. Some people have them on their helmets. Like he does. He has a helmet light there.
Just so you can see in the dark or through the smoke and stuff. Yeah.
It's kind of bright, not during the day.
Now once more with Xsploor, we've done learning galore. Explore, explore, explore.
Hey fellow explorers, I need subscribers to stay on the air. So please hit that subscribe button down below. Thank you. See you next time, fellow explorers. Take care.